As you are seeing, this is the exact condition which Bhagwan had explained and which Bhagwan had predicted a few days back in the satsang. So that where huge landfalls and cyclones has been recorded in Odisha and West Bengal. And next is the world's largest iceberg which breaks off from Antarctica. So this is also one of the predictions by His Divine Holiness, and we're going to be watching the news. So if you see the EcoWatch news records, the world's largest iceberg breaks off from Antarctica. A massive chunk of ice broke off of Antarctica this month, and it is now the largest iceberg in the world. And it is known as the A76, was first spotted by a British Antarctic Survey researcher May 13. It was then confirmed by the US National Ice Center the next day using the images from the Sentinel-1A satellite. Now the new giant iceberg breaking away from the Ron ice shelf. So this is the iceberg. And it first broke off from the western edge of the Ron ice shelf, which is located in Antarctica's Weddell Sea, according to the European Space Agency. It is 89 nautical miles long by 14 nautical miles wide, according to the USNIC, and has an area of 1,668 square miles. And to put that in the perspective, it is larger than both the Spanish island of Mallorca at 1,405 square miles and the state of Rhode Island at 1,034 square miles, and it is also almost 6 times larger than the New York City. So this is what is the state of the natural calamities which is hitting us at this point of time. And the largest iceberg of the world in Antarctica is breaking off. So this is the effect of the collective negativity that is hitting the globe. And this is the right time for all of us to decide to reach the feet of Paramashiva. So that is why Parashakti very clearly revealed in the readings that Adi Kailasa is the huge ship which she has created to protect yourself from deteriorating. So this is the news which we are seeing from the EcoWatch, where the largest iceberg has been broken and it is now floating, and it is quite very, very dangerous to all of us. And the next calamity, which His Divine Holiness had already told us, the natural calamities, where the rising oceans, part 1, where the sea level is rising, is already reshaping the North Carolina's coast. So signs of rising sea levels can be dramatic on the North Carolina coast. So stronger storms push storm surge up into the oceanfront communities like the Ocracoke, breaking records as the sea washes through the dunes, through homes, businesses, making the barrier island almost uninhabitable. So but the day-to-day signs of sea level rise as much more subtle. High tides increasing the creep into waterfront roads like the River Street in Wellington. So this is the next calamity which all of us are seeing as an eyewitness, where the sea levels are rising. This is exactly what His Divine Holiness Bhagavan was revealing just few days back in the satsang, that the sea level is going to rise. There's going to be huge natural calamities like landslides, tsunamis, and to our eyewitness, we had seen the iceberg, the largest iceberg has broken. And now we can see the next most important calamity which the world is facing, a 10% increase in the global land evapotranspiration from 2003 to 2019. So this news says, the quantification of the global and evapotranspiration is necessary for understanding the variability in the global water cycle, which is expected to intensify under the climatic change. So the current global evapotranspiration products are derived from the variety of sources, including the models, remote sensing, and in-situ observations. So this is also one of the most important recording of the calamities which is happening across the globe, and how science and the media is now reporting it as an eyewitness to all of us. And we also have where the satellite data reveals on the 26th of May 2021, which is yesterday, impact of warming on the global water cycle. So the evapotranspiration, which is the transfer of water from the ground into air through a combination of evaporation and transpiration, increased by 10% between 2003 and 2019, according to a new research. So this study, which published in Nature, finds that the change is mainly driven by the world's land surface heating up. And this confirms a long-standing theory that as the climate continues to warm in the future, the water cycle will gain energy and intensify. The study introduces a novel way of tracking changes in the mass of water from different parts of the planet by using the satellite data. And this method, it allows the authors to complete the water cycle picture of evapotranspiration. So this data, it very clearly says that after precipitation, this evapotranspiration is the second largest component of the global water cycle. So it is a term that describes the movement of water from the Earth's surface to the atmosphere through evaporation from the soil and bodies of water and transpiration from vegetation. So scientists have long thought that as the global warming drives up temperatures, the increase in energy to the climate system will drive higher levels of evapotranspiration. And this would result in more intense global water cycle. Next danger we are going to be facing. And to measure the changes in this, they have typically used techniques like models, remote sensing, and in situ vibrations, where Dr. Michael, who was a climate scientist, he says typically sparse, strongly influenced by local conditions and by themselves, insufficient for global estimates of evapotranspiration. So the Dr. Joshua, a research scientist, he says, who was also not involved in the study, he says the carbon brief that evapotranspiration can be measured using satellite images. So this is also one of the most important revelation where science also is actually failing now and where the huge natural calamities are hitting the planet Earth, including the rise and changes in the evapotranspiration rates, the warming of the land and the global warming. Everything is actually being affected. And you can also see where Bhagavan himself revealed in the satsang a few days back where volcano eruptions and Congo's Nyiragongo volcano erupts, causing thousands to flee, at least 15 were dead. So this is a recent news report from the Nairobi which says 15 people have died in a volcano eruption in Congo late Saturday that turned the sky above a fearsome red and sent thousands fleeing from a city that was devastated by the lava of the volcano flows in 1977 and 2002. So this is the condition where you can see the picture. The people are seen walking near the smoldering ashes in the Congo state following the eruption of the Mount Nyiragongo volcano. So if you see, the world is going through a huge pralaya, and exactly whatever predictions were given by Bhagavan is now seen in the news. And now we are also going to be seeing what was predicted and revealed by Parashakti.
Paramashivoham